All right. My computer wants to tell me a million things. Am I okay? It's on. Okay. All right. So I'm coming on super early, and I know that most of y'all, well, y'all haven't seen me do this in a long time. Back in the day, I used to be able to go come on real early because both my kids would be dropped off super early. And then my child started high school, and the time change happened as far as when school started. So I used to come on at like 7:30 in the morning, baby. I used to. I'm on this early because school decided to cancel school. It's going to reach 43 today. They said it was weather related, but they also said I was wondering if it was code because they were also like it will get icy today. And when I tell you, you gotta love my school system. Um, don't know. Don't know. Because I'm looking at the weather report, and while there's certain things that might be coming through, it certainly isn't, well, anyway. So, I know it's really like it's very not bright right now. So, okay. We're having coffee and tarot. For those who don't know, and I have been very busy, so I apologize. I know I got into a really good stream of coming on every day almost, and then, but I've had to do some things. And when you get the inclination and the guidance to take care of certain things, you take care of them. So that's been what I've been focusing on. So children are home today. I'm on nice and early. They're upstairs chilling. I get to go out and go grocery shopping some more because I was supposed to anyways. But yay me, I get to fight everybody that's out there now because we have a big winter storm that's supposedly coming. We could get anywhere from nothing to like a foot of snow. So, yay. Okay. So, coffee and tarot. Premise is this: we sit down, spirit has a conversation with us. Spirit is leading the entire conversation. They get to dictate. Now, I might ask some questions, but we don't come into this with any kind of like preconceived notions, no time frames, no specificities, no borders or limits around what we're going to discuss, no intentions, right? We sit down and we listen. Sometimes it's a, well, in the South we call it come to Jesus talk, even though it's not anything about Jesus. It's just it's a phrase. It's a let's have a conversation. And sometimes it's like prophetic in a way, giving us like foretelling of things that are going to happen. So never know until I actually get started. I don't really try to get anything before I come on. Um, music seems to be important. I will say that much. They kept throwing a bunch of songs my direction, and so I'm just going to say that's probably pertinent to somebody. So you may receive like messages through music. Also, lately I have been having like an immense amount of dreams, and I was just I was like not complaining. I was just like, man, because I have several people in my family that have like an immaculate ability with dreams, and I can interpret dreams like it's not even funny. Um, but I hadn't really been having much, right? And so I hear back to back every night. And I have the same visitor. Something's about to go down. Okay. And I think I need to come on one day and just tell you what I'm starting to see in regards to uh, large scale issues nationally, worldwide, that kind of stuff. I start sharing some of those things. Um, there's so many people that want to take guesses that I just don't want to be another voice that adds something to it. But uh, it has come to full circle where so many of the things that I predicted, I even have it in writing where like I was predicting certain things would happen. I was trying to justify getting a passport for my son with his father who wanted to act like a ass. Um, and because I could lean I was like, fuck you. Do you care about your child at all? Do you? Because he has melanin in his skin and he will be targeted. You little fuck mother. Anyways, I did like a big ass essay, sent him an email full of all kinds of data point, like, and I tell you when I like everything. that I predicted came through. I was like, so I just want to start sharing that, and I will. But today is coffee and tarot because it's been like 5 or 6 days since I've been on, and we just need to figure out what spirit wants to talk about. So we're gonna do this, okay? I'm hoping to stay consistent, but they've got me busy doing some shit, and so we shall see. Alrighty. Friendly reminder: if you're sticking around, you are a sovereign being over your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. So my recommendation to you is not to Cinderella shit to make it fit. Okay? Fantastic. And on the dreams note, when I tell you they are like, I remember everything, and they keep them short, sweet, and to the point. And there's like I won't get too woo woo, but there's a person that shows up in every single one of them, and I'm like, okay, I know that it's guidance for what's to come, and this person is trying to guide me in a particular direction. So, um, I would say that might be pertinent for anybody right now to really be paying attention to their dreams, because I do not dream generally about people I know. Um, like you could like one time a year, maybe like there. I haven't even dreamt about people I've like been with, married with. Like I've never dreamt about them. Anyways, um, at least when I was with them, and so it's to have this person show up almost every single night. So spirit is talking. It's just whether or not you're listening. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Grab your tea, your lemon water, your hot toddy, your coffee, whatever it is that you want. Let's settle in and see what spirit has to say. Now, I know it's a weird lighting. We're gonna deal with it, okay? Okay. Because every time I get close to the mic, it's like you can't see my face, but whatever. And it's early. All right. Aren't you proud of me for being up and on this early? Okay, they're barking at me for a deck. So let's go ahead and we're gonna start with Archangel Tarot. I almost said Fallen Angel Oracle, so obviously that's next. Page of Swords. Let's see. Well, and see, yeah, I think there's a couple of dreams I've had where I revisited like maybe 3 or 4 times, but never like back to back, right? So you would have like kind of like the same sense of same dream. Let me go. Let me get the lighting. Is God Almighty. Ooh. Is that going to make it worse? Does that make the shadows worse? Makes it better. Makes it kind of worse. Oh well. Anyhow, so but no, I have never myself had someone. And let me just tell you guys, like, I know people love to talk about mediumship where you talk with like crossed over loved ones or recently deceased or people who have recently had an experience or a life on earth. But it's a different experience when you know that you connect astrally or telepathically with somebody that you know to be alive still yet on this earth. Does that make sense? And that they're constantly showing up. This is not somebody in my life. This is not somebody that I know personally. I just know that they're living. They're a living being. They're alive. So I don't know who they are. Anyways, it is weird. It's definitely weird for me. Page of Swords. Things are gonna get you're about to come into some information that's gonna kind of change up some plans. Yeah, I don't think necessarily that it's gonna be someone reaching out and saying something to you, although it could be. Think like coming into some kind of information or knowing or something some type of understanding, and it's like, oh, that changes things. A change or revision to plans. That's what we want to focus on. Five of Cups. Don't get caught up on that. Like, if there's a revision to some if there's a switch up on plans, it's kind of like the idea of don't cry over spilled milk. Don't focus on that. Keep moving forward. So spirit's going to be guiding you, or you're going to receive guidance, or you're going to feel intuitively drawn to certain things. Like, you're going to keep moving forward. There's just bits and pieces that are going to be revised. If you focus on the revisions, that's going to stall you. You're going to miss the information coming in that keeps you moving forward on your path. And so they're telling you now, don't get the ass shake because of this. Because on the other side of that is the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Page of Pentacles. Okay. There is something like a positive shift within your actual 3D reality. It does seem to impact financial matters, and it indicates like a new area. So the change, the revision to plans, may be a pivot in your focus of where you pour your energy into. Okay, it is a new area. Maybe that shift of having to move into a new area, it feels tied to the finances. Might have you a little bit like f that might be the thing that you might try to focus on is, like, I don't know why I feel like a bit of a nostalgia in regards to this, like a nostalgic feeling of, like, I don't wanna pivot but I have so much love for, and so that might be. I don't know, I get the energy of like when you're trying to plan something fun for a little kid, and you're like, "Okay, we're gonna do this, and this is my child. This is my child growing up, okay? My child could not deal with changes." Of course, you're talking about ADHD, autism, things like that, right? Um, he did not do well with schedule changes. You had to stick to the plan, stick to the routine, so you never told him something. So there's something that you have either assumed or downloaded or intuited, um, like a particular direction, and it ends up that piece or element is not that's what's changing. It just feels like you were set on something. Um, but again, it still ends in the Ten of Pentacles. But you had built something around this being the thing. You kinda, like, used it as an anchor, for a bit, like, anchoring in, um, your commitment to a particular path, or you just use it as a sense of security, like, "Oh, this'll always be a steady thing," and it's changing. Again, it feels very materialistic, um, tied to the material world. Okay, we're not doing books. Um It feels like it has a bit more of a challenge to it, so it's not a challenge in the sense of, like, because I feel like, I'm not doing anything that challenges me like that again. It's challenging in that it forces you to expand rather than stay in a comfort zone. So again, you anchored into something that felt secure and comfortable, but they're like, "Oh, but actually, it feels like something expands from that versus a total utter pivot." But it's not something you expected, it's not something that you kinda held on to, and so it feels a bit, like, jarring, and it's like, "Oh, but I love this, though." S- You're still going to love it, but it's going to change. Oof, 6 of Wands. It's really, really good news. There's okay, so something's expanding and they're talking about public recognition for good works. So it's almost like this change only comes because you have done something so well. Um, I just feel like it's a comfort zone, whatever this is. Again, it's it's pushing you out. It's like staying in your element, but pushing you out of your element. Um, there's just a sadness. You feel like you're leaving something behind. Oh, this is the Emperor. Yeah, you get some kind of recognition and it puts you in a more of a leadership forefront kind of a role. Emperor. It's good news. This is a victory, but I feel like you're going to be asked to leave something. Like there's an element you want to bring along with you and they're like, and by leaving it behind, you almost feel like you're kind of like leaving an aspect of yourself behind. Hermit. You're used to being the only one calling the shots in regards to something and dictating how you maneuver, and this feels as if somebody, is making a request or there's a request of you that there somehow it's like, "Oh, you think you get to decide over this rather than me?" Um, so there's something that you do that is changing. And it's an expansion, it's an improvement, it's an elevation, it's actually a recognition of your skills, but it's almost like you don't get to do this anymore though, and you're like, "Who are you to fucking decide that for me?" Like, in order to step into this role, you have to leave this other thing that has a bit of nostalgia to you. It's kind of been your anchor as you've moved through a process, and so it's kind of like you wanna take it with you, and someone doesn't want you to take it with you. King of Pentacles. But this is asking you again, it's gonna have you thinking, "Never mind." No, because whatever this is that feels like an anchor, a sense of stability for you, a rock for you, also has a very nostalgic piece. So it feels a bit like it's a part of who you are. You've almost like it's an expression of yourself, and you're like, okay, I'll just not like you'd rather just go it alone. And they're asking you literally at the bottom of this, it says, please accept opportunity. It doesn't say please. It says confidently accept opportunities you're offered. It's a successful time. But you're on the fence of thinking, "Never mind, I won't do it. I'm just gonna do me then." Like, it's okay, so this is low-hanging fruit. This is not necessarily what they're saying. But it's, it's a popular thing that's happening right now. Everybody can understand what I'm saying when I mention this. It's like being an influencer and normally doing this type of content and somebody's like, "I'd like to give you a podcast. I'd like for you to do a mini series on YouTube, but you kind of have to watch, like, I know you've been doing this. We just want you to focus on this and not this other stuff." And it's kind of like, yeah, but that made me. That's so much of who I am. No, I don't want to give that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine? And then think of any type of like not hobby. I don't want to say hobby because that minimizes talent that you have, career, self expression that you've got, and it's kind of like that. It's like it reminds you of someone trying to shut you up, dampen, because I think whatever this expression is, when it has nostalgia, it speaks to, like, the inner child, and so you're kind of like, I don't wanna do that." Like, maybe for the longest time, you've been told in your life what isn't okay as far as self-expression goes, and so somebody coming in and it's like it feels like something is paraded around as an improvement when you see it as a negative because they're asking you to change, and you don't wanna change. But you've got spirit asking you to accept this opportunity, which then places parameters on you and your self-expression or whatever it is that you do. So there's a it feels I wanted to say an existential crisis and spirit's like an existential battle. Like you just want to battle it out with spirit. You're like, I'm gonna lose my shit right now. That's what it feels like. Are you kidding me? Good morning. Ooh, there's sadness with this. There's grief. Like, you feel like you're separating with an aspect of yourself when they ask you to leave something behind. It your mind and your heart are kinda like, "Oof, mm." But this looks really appealing, the 9 of Pentacles. And I think there's because this can be like the card of successful self-employment. So, again, this is something very tangible, material, connected to finances, connected to a talent, um, or a skill set that you have, heavy leaning on like career, again, talent or career. And it's kind of like you're getting recognition, you're getting elevated, but they're saying you have to leave a piece behind there. Things are gonna be revised. And it's not the way you thought it would go. And again, I feel like you have too much history where you're like, I'm not gonna let somebody place a limitation on me. You want me, you want all of me, not just this piece. So you may be thinking, you know what? I'll just do it on my own. Again, Hermit card, you're thinking that, but the 9 of Pentacles is underneath the King of Pentacles, which the King of Pentacles is where they say confidently accept opportunities offered to you. So this is going to lead to financial independence. Um, Under the Hermit is the 3 of Swords. So if you try to go it alone, you're going to be very disappointed and will cause more grievances in your life than it is worth. What are they having to give up specifically? Pull from this deck and then we'll find out. What are they having to leave behind? Okay, again, because this is something that's, again, you feel connected to. It's very nostalgic. It's been an anchor for you as you've been moving through something, as you've been going along your path. It's kind of like been the carrot dangling in front of you. And so you've invested time, energy into it. It feels like it's a part of you. So when they're asking you not to do something or to leave a certain aspect behind, you're kind of like, that got me to this place. Why would I leave it behind? Why can't it be both? So what are they being asked to leave behind? I'm gonna put this over here, but that's not answering the question. I'm hoping they're gonna answer the question. We'll go over that in just a second. I gotta sneeze. It's gonna happen. Okay. At some point, it'll come out. Here's the thing. This is so weird. Oh. It's the first one that came out because I'm like, what are they having to leave behind? And what first came out was the Queen of Wands, Four of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. Queen of Wands, exceptionally independent, fierce, opinionated, independent. We do have several things highlighting that. The Hermit, the uh, autonomy, like, creative freedom. You are giving up the ultimate say over something. The ultimate say over something. But I also felt like when this first came out, like it's creativity um over intellect, like this back and forth. And it feels like something's going to be more heavily focused on communication. They just said wordsmithing versus the Queen of Wands makes me feel like something that Queen of Wands commands attention, something outside the box. The reason I say I'm like, okay, I'm trying to relate that to what I asked. Because I felt something off of it, but I also feel like this is the reason that you're being picked up. It's your sense of self-confidence, your independence, your articulation and communication. This literally talks about asserting yourself, the way you assert yourself. With the Four of Pentacles, it's like it says it's a good business decision. And I think these are the aspects of yourself. I think it's your mind and the way that you see things and the way that you perceive something, the way that you approach something, the way that you're able to communicate something, and your sense of unabashedness or the Queen of Wands. You command attention, and that's why it's kind of like this would be a good business decision. But then they have like this is what perplexes me. We have the King of Swords and the Sun. Heavy on your mind space because it talks about speaking your mind with confidence. It's like a balance between the logical and the whimsical, the logical and the potential. It's like it talks about okay, so it says like a new path, a new idea that leads to success. It's like they're trying to say, "This is the real reason that you're being offered this." And part of you feels like you don't wanna give something up, and you feel like if you did, it would only be because it would give you a sense of security financially, and you feel like there's a big piece of you that does not wanna take something just for that, but they want you to realize that you're being an opportunity is presenting itself because of these other elements, because whatever it is that you possess needs to be forefront. Still, I'm gonna pick a different deck and see if another deck tells me what you're having to give up. I called this one out earlier. Let's see what it says. What because there's something very, very nostalgic with it. So it feels again, it speaks to your inner child. Yeah, you have history with it. again, it brought you to this place. It's something that you used as an anchor, and it's got you to this space, and you're like, I don't want to leave it behind. And again, it does feel connected to talent, an aspect of yourself, something that you were able to like sink your teeth into so that you could kind of like move along your path. You don't like the idea of giving it up. You've got, yeah, empathy. It's like I feel things so much. Something that really you have a lot of history with. Something you feel entirely too connected with. You feel too much. And it's almost like a kind of loss that you would feel like you'd have to recuperate from. Like a sense of loss you would carry a bit. Like something that you do or something that you're connected to that you feel like represents you. That wanted to come out. Oh, it did come out. Celebration. Something you were celebrated for at some point. Is this material? Is this material? Like, I feel like you celebrated yourself because it's a talent, it's something that you love, and it's something that you is a form of self-expression that you I feel like it feels like it took a lot to do. It took a lot to come to that to do it. And now you gotta leave it behind. I don't like the way it feels in my heart. I don't. Oh, girlfriend. This is we're not asking questions. This is a general read. This is coffee and tarot, just so that you're aware. Settlement. You feel like you're you feel like you're having to settle by making this compromise. It's a compromise you don't want to give. You don't want to. Like I want to cry a little bit. Like I want to cry. Like you're almost like, spirit, are you serious? To move forward, this is what it requires. Mm. Hermetic tarot. Oof. Because I don't like, even if there was a person attached, they're not giving me the energy of a person. It's like it's something that feels like it's a part of you that you were not prepared to leave behind. And you don't see a reason why you should have to. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's the idea of you started out as an influencer like this, but all this other kind of stuff that really built you, we don't want you to do that. We want you to just focus on this. And it's like, but that's what made me. And so you don't see it as elevating or stepping up the ladder. You feel like you associate it with like turning your back on something, like turning your back on yourself a little bit. That's what it feels like. Star, you know that you're being guided though. If I feel like I'm standing at a doorway to a wish being granted. And it's like it may have crossed your mind before that there would be some, compromises, and you may have thought that this might be one of them, but it feels like the degree to which something is gonna get removed from your life is more than you realize. Like, if you get this job, we don't want you doing that type of content on your own. Y we need to build your brand, and it just needs to be this." And it's like, "What the fuck?" Um, this is what you wished for, but there's a or maybe you underestimated how much you would not want to leave something behind. Again, I feel like it feels as if you feel like, "Well, then you don't really want me then, because to not want that skill brought into this, you don't really want me then." And again, I think that this whatever this is related to a part of you that was suffocated, snuffed out, or oppressed growing up. And so when you were able to claim it, express it, um, share it, you felt liberated. And to be asked to now close the lid on that feels eerily too similar to when you were younger and it wasn't valued, it was diminished, it was hidden. And you don't know if this is just a part of the evolution, like it served its purpose, or if this is really turning your back on yourself, which you promised you'd never do again. You'd never compromise yourself again. So it's disarming when it's the thing that you're being requested to leave behind in order to have a wish fulfillment and that you feel like spirit's guiding you to do. That is a big fucking decision. Didn't know how hard it would be to leave. That is a big fucking decision. That's a judgment card, y'all. I literally want to cry. God almighty, the tears want to come up. Because if they don't want that, again, do they really want me? It's like we want you to be heard, but we don't want you to say we like being told what you can and can't say. That's not self-expression. That's not you wanting it's almost like putting up bumper guards when you're bowling, you know what I mean? Like you can go everywhere you want, but except for here, you have to stay within these confines. That doesn't feel like freedom to you. But spirit is indicating it's going to give you more freedom than you ever had in life. Oh my God. The tears want to happen. The tears want to happen. I don't want to be one of those readers. The tears want to happen. La, 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 la. Queen of Cups. The tears want to happen. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of emotions wrapped up in that. Okay. Oh. That is funny because at the beginning of the reading, I said they were like throwing me a couple of I was like, music is um it's something here because they were throwing me some songs, and the very last song, so it's by Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and in it he's just talking about letting go. I'm gonna hold on, let me grab my phone. I'm gonna find out what the second song is because I can look at my history. Um. Oh. Oh man, this is a big ask. Can I just tell you? And not like anybody else looking at it probably would be like, "Oh, just go for it. Oh my god." And it's like, whatever this is, feels like it saved you. Like it helped you find you. And maybe it feels like a backtrack or a backslide. I don't know. Okay, let me go. Hold on. I gotta go. Uh Let me find my history. Nope, not that. Ah. Ugh. Hold on. I'm gonna give y'all the song. I'm on Your Side by Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. I'm on your side. Let's Google it. Let's do it. I told y'all music at the beginning. I was like, music might be for somebody. I don't know. And dreams. I'm on your side. Okay. What are the I'm on your side? Yeah. Let's look at the lyrics. Okay. Let's find the lyrics for this. This is not the last one I heard. That must have like kept going or something like that. But it's funny because they drew me to it. But the other one was talking about just letting go. What was it? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna give it to you guys because I feel like I can't let it go. Like I can't let it go. So you're all along for the ride, whether you like it or not. And I have to remember where my history is. Do it. You can do it. You know what? Let me go back to sometimes. Let's go to the library. Oh my god. Y'all are fucking killing me. Oh, I'm dying now. Oh my god, this is gonna. Okay, well, we're just gonna leave it because. Oh no 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 no! I saw it. Song history. Okay. Before I die on this hill. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna get wrapped up and get angry. Um, I could have sworn at some point it because I've been up since 5 o'clock. So when they were, I was like, oh, I just listened to that before I got off of there. Um, what's the other one that they were? Now I can't. I can't. Okay, so it's gonna upset you. We're gonna move on because otherwise I'm gonna lose my shit, just like you're about to lose yours. So, all right. Okay, so talk to us about this. What is this imminent? Is this imminent? It's what okay, so this death gives you what it is that you need, gives you access to something, It's a death and a rebirth. I mean, you lose something. It's like one door closes, another door opens, right? Six of Pentacles, though. This is like it's your time to receive. It's your chance to receive. But it does require that. You know what it reminds me of? Like somebody's witch wound. When we talk, like people use that terminology all the time, but it's kind of like the thing that you've been persecuted for before, that you finally found liberation in, is the same thing you give up. Like it triggers something really deep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Triggers something really deep, the moon. It triggers something really fucking deep. And it makes you want to just not make a move. You don't want things currently, but you're eyeballing that proverbial cup in the sky like, oh. So my suggestion would be to this. Take some time to think and move through something. And if you need to cry it out, if you need to mourn it, do so before you make a decision. That is my recommendation. Because everything is like, it's a big ask, it's an emotional ask. I just want to be like, fuck you, spirit. Like, that's what it feels like. I don't know. You feel like it makes you you. Yep. That'll be the thing. Eight of Swords. It'll be you holding you back. Self-imposed sense of limitation. This isn't something like, we can say all the colloquial sayings we want. We can be like, oh, like that whole idea of, well, if that meme that's out there where it's like, Jesus supposedly comes and says, "Give me your teddy bear," and you're like, "But I love this teddy bear. I want this teddy bear." And he's like, "I got something bigger and better." And there's like behind his back this really humongous teddy bear. You just don't see it. What if I fucking don't want that one? What if I want the one that I have? Because the one that I have has meaning and purpose and love imbued. Like I don't want some brand new shiny something. I want the torn, tattered, been through it all, with me through thick and thin teddy bear, right? It's like if I give you something really shiny, like it'll be better. According to who? According to fucking who? So we can sit there and just let go and just move on and da 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 da. Um, but it is a massively big ask, and we all would be in the exact same energy if we were if we were requested to give up something we felt was like too integral to who we are. Um, especially for people who operate out of the dark feminine, who feel akin to Lilith, like that might feel like, "Rawr," you know what I mean? So the only advice there is to not make an impulsive decision based upon emotions that are consuming you. Cry it out, push it out, purge it out, whatever you've got to do. Scream into a pillow, hit the pillow, blah blah blah. Get rid of the visceral body initial reaction. Well, I don't know why I got stuff to say, and go from there. because it will have you doing things that you may later regret. And if once you have moved through all of that, you still feel, then I would suggest making the decision that is best for you. I w- I cannot in good conscience ask somebody or tell somebody to do something that feels as if they are having to forsake the self. Um, but once you move through the initial emotional, visceral shock of it, you may find yourself willing to step into a new you with like a sense of discovery. So, um, yeah, we'll just pull some divine doors and that'll be that. What was hidden and hushed gave you freedom when you stepped into it. And now they're saying if you put it down, you'll find and experience even more freedom than you knew before. Freedom flows. Um, don't hold yourself back from worldly freedom. Dream grand things for divine sacred reason. And then the Three of Cups. A toast of friendship in the afternoon sun through cups and happiness. Three cheers are done. Celebration is near. Kind of hard to always tell you what's going to be on the other side. This is just something you have to move through. I hope the message finds whoever it's meant for. I hope you have a fantastic and wonderful day. Um, yeah. All right. I will see you at the next read. Have a good day.